I have a dream. Well, in 1968, I had a dream. Now over 50 years later, I'm like, what happened to the dream? Because when I had the dream, I never dreamt this. I never thought such a beautiful and marvelous dream can turn into a nightmare. A nightmare! Yeah, that's exactly what it turned into. Cause see, we free at last. But look at what our young black men have turned into. 93% of blacks are killed by other blacks. And we fought for so long. Over 245 years of slavery. So many brutally beat, burnt alive, hung from a tree, killed in front of everybody, killed in front of their family. And to make it worse, afterwards, they took pictures smiling next to the burnt body. And now that we free, look how we act. Every day we killing each other. We killing fathers, we killing mothers. We killing sisters, we killing brothers. We killing babies, we killing cousins. We killing over territory we don't even know. East side, west side, we killing over colors. And I feel so ashamed. I bet the former slaves and everybody who fought and died for our freedom is turning in their grave. All I see is a generation full of cowards. Gun violence takes the life of a young black man every 5 hours. It's the leading cause of death for black men under the age of 35. If a black person is killed by a gun, it is judged homicide 82% of the time. And we protest about everything else. How come we don't protest about black on black crime? But if a white cop shoot or kill a black man, we'd go protest. But that's why they don't respect that 99% of the time. Because black lives only matter when a man kills us. But when we kill each other, we act like it's fine. Black people, we must be out of our mind. So many brothers have died just because they wore the wrong color. Segregation ended over 60 years ago. Now we segregated against each other. My dream was that one day, all men would be created equal. 12 years with the civil rights movement fighting for freedom. And now that we got liberty, we shooting and killing our own people. How do we become so lethal? What happened to the dream? 12 years. 12 long years. And in them 12 years, I done been shot at. I done been stabbed. My house done been bombed. My wife and kids could have been gone. I done been rejected. So many times, disrespected. And everywhere I went, I had to be protected because I was the #1 target. Hey, do you know how I feel? To hug and kiss your wife goodbye? Knowing deep down inside it may be the last goodbye. Knowing deep down inside it may be the last time you see your babies alive. Watching the pain in your wife's eyes as she hugs you tight and cry, saying, baby, we don't want you to die. The kids and I won't be able to make it without you in our life. But she still lets you go because she know you got a dream that's going to change the world and affect a lot of lives. Phenomenal woman. Boycott after boycott. Protest after protest. Sit-in after sit-in. March after march. Speech after speech. Was it all in vain? Only if you can feel the pain. Many days I was depressed. Many nights I was drained. Going inside segregated cities. Not knowing if I'm going to walk out the same. Not knowing if I was going to survive. Not knowing if we was going to make it out survive. So many people sacrificed their life and died. Even kids were hoes and attacked by dogs and died. So many people was arrested. And I was arrested more than 120 times. Fighting so we can be free. And now that we finally got liberty, all we see is black on black crime. And what if Rosa Parks gave up her seat and went to the back of the bus with the rest of them in 1955? What if Harriet Tubman stayed in bondage and decided not to escape in 1849? What if people like Sir John Truth and Frederick Douglass never risked their life? What if I never joined the civil rights movement? What if our forefathers never fought so we can be free? What if Abraham Lincoln never signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863? See, this is the stuff we take for granted. But if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have freedom on this planet. Do you have any idea what our ancestors had to go through? Roughly 20 million taken from their homes, sold into slavery. Most of them didn't even make it along the way. Most of them died. See, they was kidnapped, stolen, forced to be stripped, thrown into the bottom of the ship, held with other captives, laid on wooden racks with no spaces between them for weeks, sometimes even months. just waiting to be a slave for the rest of their life. See, this stuff is so for real. Only if this generation can feel the pain for them that was brutally killed and still no justice. You seen that picture of Emmett Till? And I gotta say this, from 1882 to 1968, 3,446 blacks were lynched. So right now, I speak for every black who was kidnapped and taken from their home and separated from their families, babies taken from mothers, husbands taken from wives, and forced to be a slave for the rest of their life. I speak for every black who was brutally beaten, murdered. I speak for every black who was lynched. Imagine yourself tied to a tree being burnt alive. I speak for every woman who was molested and raped by a slave master. I speak for every slave who was born a slave and was forced to be illiterate, didn't even know their own birthday. I speak for every black who was hosed, attacked by dogs, beat by canes and arrested. I speak for everyone who fought for freedom and equal rights for all people when I say, what happened to the dream? The dream that allowed you to be able to have freedom. The dream that allowed you to be able to get an education. The dream that allowed you to be able to vote. The dream that allowed you to be able to have a voice. The dream that allowed you to be able to dream. What happened to it? Because if it wasn't for that dream, you wouldn't be free today. This speech is for this lost generation of today. So I speak for our forefathers when I say, we didn't fight for freedom our whole life for y'all to kill each other every day. We didn't protest and march on them streets for y'all to kill each other every day on them streets. We didn't unite and fight as brothers for y'all to separate and kill each other. We didn't fight for justice for y'all to have freedom and be nothing. We didn't fight for education for y'all to drop out of school and start hustling. We didn't die on that slave ship for y'all to send each other to an early grave, and we wasn't lynched for y'all to run the streets like y'all ain't got no sense. We didn't fight for freedom as blacks for y'all to gang bang and be in the trap. And you think you cool when you rhyming on them tracks, but little did you know Satan using you through rap. And you got all them followers. Blood gonna be on your hands and you gonna burn in hell for that. What happened to the dream? Because slavery ended over 150 years ago. Now every time you look up, a black body laying on the floor. And until we stop killing each other, I don't want to hear nothing about Black Lives Matter no more. Because this generation's so awful. We killing all four. Money, women, shoes, clothes, and cars, bro. Where did the love of God go? My next question is, how many more? How many more gotta die before we open our eyes? How many more gonna get killed before we say that's enough? Let's hit the streets and save our brothers. Because until then, we might as well still be slaves. Because all our young black men are going to the grave. And all we got left is an RIP t-shirt. So many RIP t-shirts. Gun violence takes the life of another young black man. And to pay respect, his brother makes an RIP t-shirt. But weeks later, for the same crime, he dies. And now somebody got him on an RIP t-shirt. Days later, for the same crime, he dies. And now his brother got him on an RIP t-shirt. Weeks later, for the same crime, he dies. And now somebody got him on an RIP t-shirt. See, it's just a cycle. Every day we killing each other and losing our life for nothing. Every day another brother dying. Every day another mother crying. Every day another child fatherless. I'm so tired of this. What happened to the dream? How come y'all go against everything I stand for, but then you parade and celebrate me every January 18th? And don't name no more streets after me. Because the streets you got named after me are the streets with the most violence and tragedy. What happened to the dream? Is this what I lost my life for? Is this what our ancestors struggled for and died for? Nah, this ain't what we died for. So right now, I plead the blood of Jesus over every street corner, over every project home, over every drug house, over our young black men, over our families, over our communities. I plead the blood of Jesus all over this generation. And once and for all, I break the generational curse that's been stopping our young black men from being everything God called them to be. And I decree and declare that our young black men will not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. Because I have a dream that one day, we will put the guns down and love each other. I have a dream that we will stop the violence and unite as brothers. I have a dream that we will no longer kill each other over east side, west side, and colors. I have a dream that we will no longer gangbang. I have a dream that we will no longer be thugs. I have a dream that we will no longer sell drugs. I have a dream that we will get out the streets and go to school. I have a dream that our young men will start thinking education is cool. I have a dream that our young men will keep their pants up. I have a dream that our men will grow up and be real men. I have a dream that our fathers will take care of their kids and be real fathers. I have a dream that we all can put on the news and not hear about black on black violence. So finally I say, let the black on black violence stop in New Jersey. Let it stop in New York. Let it stop in LA. Let it stop in Chicago. Let it stop in Atlanta. Let it stop in Savannah. Let black on black violence stop in America. Because I have a dream that one day, all black men, young, old, and even the Crips and Bloods will be able to hold hands and sing, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Amen.